Hi, everyone. So, good morning, guten Tag, good morning to everyone in the online world. Um, Perhaps we'll continue our discussion to the yesterday's discussion where we would be focusing on hypergraph server from the point of view of quantum analysis. I'll just write the keyword for future. And what we are going to do here is we are making a little bit of twist. Okay, the twist here is whenever somebody is reviewing this data set at any given point of time in the present scenario or in multiple portals, the way it has to work in a loop, it would be only applicable for 9.48 hours to have a calculation which can be utilized to calculate perhaps the control module, and control module in one of the embodiments can also be or may also be the monitoring module. I just want to, before we get deep dive into it, so this was one of my stuff which I did uh, early this year. So this is 5th day of March 2025, and we are already uh, half past done October 2025. So I am weekend is generally for being creative, and the one puzzle I'm trying to solve for the longest time, I'm going to do it today, is Game of Thrones. So and there's so many pieces, but it is it is fun. It is fun playing Game of Thrones. So this is how the weekend looks like right now. Okay, I think one block of puzzle just fell down. I'll just pick it up. Okay, give me a moment. Okay, done. So, where are we? We are discussing this. So the tabs are open. I just need to, and the data set is here. So we left at define hypergraph transfer protocol. Um, so this is, I would rather say, just one of the embodiments. That's it. Uh, this cannot be a major subset, but a very small subset of the protocol network, which is being developed right now, and which is, of course, we already have some use case studies utilizing this hypergraph stuff also, which is fun. Um, that being said, let me just deep dive into this protocol, and we will continue where we left yesterday. So, okay. Actually, this one is quite simple that way. Okay, so the discussion here is the weather has changed, but still it's very hot. Okay, so let me just hypergraph stuff. Okay, so we are replacing the word. Okay, replace word element with component. First of all, this is mandatory, at least for, let's see how this protocol works, then we can always make few changes for the functional aspect, but replace the word element. So even the word elementary, if it is elementary, just negate the word, take it as null and void, to avoid confusion, I would rather say. Then we have mm-mm-mm. So what are we doing here is this component of hypergraph is created by one of the, I would rather say, the local nodes, which is a public ledger. So take it as, okay, so take it as public ledger. And this is also one of the ICO protocols, which is not in the public domain, which we are forming as a network, which is a kind of a trade secret. And this will be whatever we are discussing right now, part of ISO standards for the protocols to work. I would say protocol to execute, not work. Okay. So it is ISO standard for the protocols to be executed in a fast, speedy manner. And yeah, this works. And then this is done. Next, I needed to discuss. So the tagging is basically UUID, which is basically identifying what the client is owning through whatever the data set has been seen at the other end. And then so the one I'm discussing right now can be done in multiple ways. So look into it how you would like this to be replicated in your model, because our model is very much robust, and it has a lot of nuances around a lot of stuff. So even every question is so cryptic that it has zillion answers, and no one answer is the correct answer, but it is more um, the inclusion of the data itself, which is part of a bigger protocol in terms of, let's talk about ITU GSR. I'm just making sure that the hashtag is correct here. And this is part of the use case study of the um, algorithm which I have developed for smart contracts. Smart contracts and DAOs. This is done. I want to keep it short and sweet. I would rather avoid the word relay. So avoid relay. This is done. What's next? Okay. Interesting. It's always good to work with historical data set. It gives you a very broad viewpoint of the discussion. Okay, I will explain this part in the best possible manner. So when we are working with the data set, and particularly when it is a closed network, that is, it is private ledger on a blockchain, um, how the data as such is not being stored, because if the data itself is stored, what is going to happen is, um, one needs to fortify the data, one needs a lot of cleansing of the data, a lot of data is repetitive. So that is identified at the first determination step itself, and that is changed into a mapping, which is basically depending upon the persona. And persona is not that what the uh, candidate is trying to show, because there would be instances where the candidate knows little bit about what's happening. So in that particular case, the candidate is going to show an artificial persona, because that persona is not of that particular candidate but a falsified data set. So that has to be tagged very clearly, and that has to be negated at the first instance itself. So this takes care of lot of energy resources which might be required or was required with the previous generations. And the GPUs and all, we don't need that, because this is simple, not simple per se, but a very logical understanding. It is nothing to do with the supply and demand. It is all to do with the individual persona of the candidate in real. So the candidate has to be throttled till the time the candidate is actually in the zone where the candidate is upskilled to the next level of understanding of executing and working for the enterprises, organizations globally. So it makes the candidate, I would say, employable, which is not the case right now, because colleges and all, they don't provide that kind of skill set to the folks who are part of the college. This is done. I'm not getting into vector stuff right now. I'm just. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Okay. Try and combine with the KPO understanding and CERT protocols. I'm sure you'll be able to get something out of it. Thank you for watching this out. Have a great weekend ahead, or maybe for some people it might be a weekday. But yes, in the time zone I am right now, it is a weekend. Uh, Please keep sending the DMs. And yes, the models are working. They are better than what it was a couple of days back. Thank you for watching it out. Have a great day ahead.